Yo, and I'm back. What's up, everybody? Hopefully everybody comes back and see who we get. For some reason, my last video isn't really doing so well. It says 4 views up to now. I don't know what's going on there. It should at least be on 10, 20 views, but yeah, welcome back, Dale. Welcome back, Anton. How you doing, people? It says 5 views on the here, but that's quite low. Like, if I look at my analytics, the last video, it's not even at the bottom of the typical range. There's something happened. I just restarted it because when I restart, it can push me live out again. So it's just it was stagnating. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna restart it. A few people were leaving, and it was stagnating. I was like, okay, I'm starting up a new one. See how it goes. So yeah. But yeah, let's just see how things go with it. But yeah, how's things with you anyway? Hello, Abby. Welcome back. How you doing tonight? Hope all is well with you. But yeah, just gotta keep trying to put some content out, be consistent with it. You know, I need to get some more videos out soon, so then it'll hopefully keep growing. So it'll grow a lot from like if you put the right kind of videos out. I'm gonna have to go. See you tomorrow. Right, take care, Anton. Have a good one. Oh, good here. That's good then. But yeah, we can definitely call Friday. That's good. Anyway, like the live if you haven't already, people. And yeah, just come and chat with us. But yeah, we've still got a bit of a, we've got a few regulars coming in. We've got you guys. We've got, yeah, who else have we got? There was this guy called Jimmy who comes here a lot sometimes as well. And who else? There was Lexi. Lexi comes here a lot as well. And yeah, there's a good few regulars been coming here now. So I appreciate all the people who take the time to stop by and hang out with us. And yeah, but yeah, we're just onwards and upwards, eh? Nothing's going to stop me from doing what I want to do. I'm going to be ambitious, and I really want to take this somewhere. I'm planning to do like a podcast in the near future. I want to try and get some guests on and have conversations with them. And yeah, that's what I wanted to start to do. I want to have, I'm thinking maybe I'll get that Gemma person up for like talk on autism and, raising awareness of that. And I'd love to get like all sorts of different guests up. And how's it going, Tobster? Good to see you again. Yeah, you're a bit of a regular as well now, aren't you? Yeah, how have you been? Hope everything's well with you. Like the live, guys. 6 people watching, 2 likes. Can we get the likes up in here? That'd be really appreciated. Hello, Charlie. How you doing? Welcome in here, Charlie. Blimey, Charlie. Yeah. Where's that come from? Blimey, Charlie. I don't know. I just remember like it's a saying, isn't it? Yeah, I'll have to find out about that. But yeah. So what do you all think about the Trump winning the election? I think it's great. I'm so excited. I'm gonna make America great again. Hello to you, Sam. How you doing? Hello, Tony. What's your plans for the weekend? Good question. Probably not a whole lot, really. Yeah, I don't really do a whole lot usually. Probably just more fitness stuff, more exercise stuff. American. I'm like so American. It's so awesome to have you all here. Hope you all had a dope ass day today. Do you have a garden? No, I live in an apartment, and it's yeah. Well, I suppose we do have a garden, but it's a shared garden, so not one that's my own private garden, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Yeah, how are we doing? Zane? Who's Zane? Hang on, Zane. Who's that you're talking about? I remember many years ago there was a good documentary about autism called The Autistic Me, and the Autistic Me 1 year on following 3 young men. Oh yeah, I've seen that one. It was quite an old one, that one. I remember, yeah, 10 watching. Yeah, cool. Thank you very much, everybody. 9 people watching. Like the live if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new here. Hi, Liam. Who's Liam? Liam Neeson? You're talking about? Yeah. What are you talking about? Anyway, yeah, how's everybody doing? Yeah, I remember, oh yeah, Autistic Me, yeah, it was about, yeah, like autistic people. How's it going, Ryan? You alright? Good to see you again. Hello, Nemo kid. Welcome in. How you doing, people? Yeah, how's things, Ryan? Yeah, well, it's good that you at least try and pop in from time to time here. But I know it's not really the platform that you normally use. But yeah, I'm thinking about growing my own vegetables next year. That's good. Yeah, that'd be a good idea to, because then you know where it's come from. It's fresh then, isn't it? And to me, Nemo kid. Well, we found you then. We found Nemo. Yeah, Nemo's there. Speaking of found, has anyone seen about that thing about the mysterious song that's just been found? It's like a recent thing. Like a few days ago, people have been putting that out. It's been this viral thing online. I don't mind the platform, to be honest. It's actually smooth. Yeah, exactly. It runs a lot better than TikTok, I find. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Like the live if you haven't already. I just find it doesn't lag hardly anywhere near as much. It's just a lot simpler. It doesn't have all the extra BS that TikTok has. It doesn't need it. It's just, I think it's because people are just so kind of needy for all this kind of stuff in your face, like all these gifts, all these different random things going on. It just overloads the system. I like all your vids, thank you. Well, how hard is it hard to do crunches? So annoying, I can't do more than 5 lol. Yeah, it just takes time to build it up. You've got to just be patient with these things. But yeah, what time is it? It is 8:46 p.m. Hello, Xander, how you doing? Can you speak English, please? Anyway, 10 people watching, 3 likes. Can we get to 10 likes real quick, people? Come on, guys, we should get it to 10 likes. We've got all these people. Come on. What is going on here? Do you not know how to like the live? Please, what? What are you on about, Nemo? What's your name? Anyway, Jamie. I'm Jamie. What's your age? 29 years old. What are you on about, Nemo? Kid, I don't know who you are. Francais, I don't really speak French, but this is an English-speaking chat, people. Thank you for the 5 likes, people. Yes, I am English. Yeah, I am English. Why? Where are you from? Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I hope everyone's well tonight. You look cool, thank you. Yeah, 29 years young. Some people say that such and such years young instead of saying years old. Because it's like, it doesn't sound old when it doesn't sound good when you say years old. Because old's got like bad connotations to it. And Xander. Xander. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I don't support any football team. I'm not interested in football, to be honest. Really, it's not really my thing. Never really got into it. Manchester City. Oh yeah, Manchester Shitty they would call it, innit? But yeah, thing is though, they got them a lot better from what I understand. They used to be quite rubbish, but then their management or whatever it was, and I think they ended up blowing Man United out the water. I remember at one point. But yeah, they were like the underdogs, weren't they? But I don't really get the highbrow football. Yeah, I think maybe it's like an autistic thing. I've noticed that people are autistic. Either they're super, super fanatical about it, or they have no interest in it whatsoever. Oh yeah, my mum's there. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know you'd come back in here, but yeah, how you doing? Hello, Mags. Welcome back. How you doing? What sport do you play or not play? I just kind of do mostly just fitness activities, really. I'm not really a big fan of sports in general. Don't mind playing some FIFA, yeah. It's just not really my thing. I used to like racing games and stuff. I used to like just playing with cars and stuff. I'm more into like, if I'm gonna do sports, more like casual sports, really, like like air hockey and stuff like that, and bowling, that kind of stuff. Crazy golf. I'd be more into that kind of stuff really than the more kind of serious type of stuff. I really enjoy bowling. I can get quite competitive with that. I used to get really competitive when I would play with someone. And, I used to have this guy who would take me out bowling, and we would get really competitive with each other. Truth or dare? No, I don't. I'm visiting Leeds tomorrow to meet a friend. Have you been to Leeds before? Last time I visited, I thought it was run down and full of drug addicts. It was a shame to witness. Oh yeah, I've been to Leeds before. I mean, yeah, it's not really much to write home about. I don't think it's it's kind of, I suppose it's good for like going shopping and stuff. Like it's got this thing called the Trinity Centre, but I think the Trinity Centre is kind of cool because it's got this like glass roof thing in it, and it's quite It makes it feel quite open, and yeah. My sister's best friend is the manager of for the Bala Football Club. What's the Bala Football Club? I don't know what that is, but just goes to show how little I know about football. The Bala Football Club. I know there's a Lake Bala in Wales, but it's probably nowhere near there. Yeah, the Lake Bala it's kind of like the Welsh version of the Lake District, basically. But yeah, I'd like to go there actually and see that. But yeah, I like going to these like places in like the country. And how's it going, Sam? You alright? What do you mean? If you don't like it, then you don't have to be here. Anyway, yeah, how's everybody doing? Good job. Good job. That's like American, isn't it? Good job. Who just liked? I don't know. Gotta love howling. Oh yeah, like a wolf. May you help me? How can I help you? Oh, it's going. Are these just trolls now or something? They're probably just a bunch of trolls in here, isn't it? Just stupid trolls, I reckon, isn't it? What do you guys think? It's hard to really take a lot of these people seriously, What's 5 times 9? 45. Yeah. I'm okay when it comes to maths, so yeah. Yeah. I got a B in maths at school. It was like one of my best grades, so yeah. I was pretty happy, but I probably could have done better if I'd have revised more, but yeah. Oh yeah, thank you, Xander. Hang on, I thought you said there was someone else was Xander. I'm getting confused, or is this another Xander? I don't know, or is it another account of Xander's? Anyway, I don't know what's going on here, but yeah. Oh, thank you, Xander. Do the reactions help? Love hearts. I'm guessing it might be a bit like TikTok. Maybe it helps to push it out more. I don't know, but maybe people, if you're not chatting, then you could just do the reactions. It's quite similar to how the TikTok live feed works, isn't it? Yeah, what was Nemo kids saying? Oh, take care, Sam. Maybe it will help. But what's it saying? Please, my dog passed away yesterday. Is that right? Because a lot of people said this to troll. I've had someone before in a live chat that would just basically use it as a way of trolling, and I don't know. But if it has happened, then R.I.P. to your dog. But yeah, I just don't know what to believe anymore with people. There's so many people lying about shit, and yeah, it's given me a lot of trust issues, and I don't know what to believe anymore. People do a lot of weird shit. You're not a troll. I don't know who you are, and yeah. Anyway, how's everybody's day been? I hope you've all had a good one. Share the live if you can. That'd be really appreciated. Yeah, just try and get it popping in here tonight. Let's troll. I think though, yeah, definitely. I would say. Pretty sure. Do you trust me? I don't know. I don't know what to trust anymore. I don't know. I would only trust the people that I know offline, really, because. How's it going, Ibrahim? I'm 29 years old. What about yourself? If you're new here, can you subscribe? How could we DM? I could maybe put my email up, possibly, or something like that. I might have to, I've got a few email addresses, though, but yeah. If you want to email me, people, I usually use the one called jbmagic95@gmail.com. If you want to send me any messages there, but other than that, I do have Instagram, which is at Jamie Brown JB95. Oh, Ibrahim's 33. I'm 29 years old myself. But yeah, there's that. Those are ways that you can get in contact with me. I was meaning something more instant. All right, okay. I don't know, but I mean, like I said, Instagram, maybe that's a one, but yeah. Anyway. Okay, Ryan. Oh, you're 11. That's quite young then, isn't it? Maybe this isn't for you. Welcome back, Darren. How have you been? Yeah, it's Rich, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, how are we doing, people? Hope you've all had a blessed day. Yeah. I'm going to the bridge because I'm not happy anymore. I'm glad you were the last person I watched. Well, yeah, well, if you're actually being serious, you really need to get some help. And it's just that there's people out there that will say shit like this to just get attention. And yeah, I mean, I'm not, I can't really help you. It's just, if you really at that point, you need to ring some number or something. Listen, I have to go. Right, take care, Nemo. Have a good one. Oh, thank you, Ibrahim. Yeah. So I don't know what to trust in anymore. It's people saying shit that they don't even mean, and I'm like, what is even real anymore? You know? What that people are saying? Can you even trust in? Not a whole lot, really. He goes live every day. Yes, I do. Can't believe Trump is president again. I can believe it. I knew I was gonna be the president again. They're not gonna steal another election from me, those Democrats. I'm the rightful president of America. I should have been the president from 2020 to 2024. Voice for radio or news, I suppose. What are you saying? Hi, King. Are you India? Yeah, welcome in, King. What's your name, by the way? What do you mean, Ibrahim? You're on about my voice. You're saying I have a voice for radio or news. Maybe it's my... Some people say I sound a bit posh. Compared to like what I used to be, I don't know. I'm kind of try to be a bit more well-spoken, but... Because the thing is, people can perceive you a certain way if you... It's like I like to have some of my regional dialects, but the thing is, if you sound too common, it can sort of come across that you're just a kind of a bit of a, like a bit chavvy, a bit kind of rough. So yeah, I think it's good to have some of your, regional dialect, but if it's too kind of strong, and it can give you a perception of being, kind of, there's this whole kind of like thing of, I'm not saying fake it till you make it or whatever, but like there's a certain kind of way you present yourself, like to the world. Like if if you don't sound like you're someone who is well educated, for example, then they might be less likely to take you seriously. And yeah, are you still gonna do the podcast? Yeah, I plan to do, like I said earlier, I plan to get people on at some point. It's just I don't know who I'm going to get on. I don't know who's going to come on, and then I would go live together. So yeah, there's Gemma that I could get on, but I haven't messaged her yet. I might have to try and get on her channel, and maybe I could go live on hers as well, and talk about the autism. And I have subscribed again to her because I used to subscribe to her a long time ago, but I haven't spoken to her for a while because it was on an old channel that I had, and I met her through some other people, like some networking community, and yeah, it's just it would be good to maybe get her up on, talk about some of these things, and yeah, maybe like raise awareness and try to talk about like how people can maybe help to accommodate for these things. Are you still doing multi-streaming to Rumble? Not at the moment, no, but I might start doing it again. It's just I just can't be bothered. It's a lot of messing around trying to set it up. Okay, Ibrahim, thank you. But yeah, basically, I don't know, I'll just, yeah. Welcome back. It's a name. Yeah, you did say he was coming back, but yeah, thank you for coming back. Yeah, so I'm going to try and get some guests up, and we can talk about some different stuff. It's just a shame, there was this guy called, I think he was called Vlogging a Life. There's a guy called Dale, and not Dale, the one that comes here, but another one that I met through this networking community a while ago on YouTube, and he started following me on TikTok a while ago, but I've lost contact with him. I might have to try and send him a message on a YouTube video and stuff, because he's this guy who basically he's married to a Filipino. I think he's married to her. Or at least he's a partner. I think he's married to her, and he's like, but he lives here. She's moved here because it was for her work or something, and he actually visits the Philippines, I think he said, like every year. So he would probably know a lot when it comes to things like moving to places like that, and he could maybe give people some advice on that sort of stuff. So it'd be good to get him up on, and go through some of the things, because it was something that I considered doing a while ago. But maybe if people are interested in that sort of stuff, then maybe it would be good to have him come on and talk about like the like that sort of things, and he'll know about like the culture a bit more and any concerns that people have, things like that. Oh, well, thank you, Ibrahim. But yeah, I'll keep it in mind. Anyway, I know a guy who goes there too. Oh yeah, who's that then? It's just I was watching somebody called, I think he's called Geo in the Philippines or something like that, and it's just he was saying some stuff and it seemed like a lot of complicated crap, and it's just I've kind of put the idea on the back burner for now, because there's a lot of things to consider, like even things like bad weather, and like as in like stormy weather, like flooding. There's potential for things like really like creepy insects, and that's something I struggle to deal with. Like yeah, it would kind of freak me out probably if I'm seeing all these really exotic things there, and it would yeah. And you've got to be careful about like crime and stuff like that. And I'm not from the US, I'm in the UK. He's there now. Oh yeah, really? £15 a night hotels. Oh yeah. I mean, if you're going, I mean, talking like if you're going for like, for permanently, you can get like 20 minutes from airport really well. If you're going permanently for like, if say like you spending a few months somewhere, I've heard you can get the maybe like £5 a night even in some cases, or even less. So they're really, really inexpensive. And what some people might do is like, what you could do, say, is buy a house here and rent it out. So you could say like, you could basically so this is an idea of what you could do. Buy a house. Let's say you could buy one for, even if it's just quite a cheap one, like say, I don't know, 60, 70,000. If you can save up enough to buy it in cash, then what you do, you then rent it out to people. Let's say you're making £400 or £500 a month off it. You pretty much, if you can then go to like the Philippines and you can then rent somewhere for like less than half of that, you might rent somewhere at £150 a month, and then you just have your other expenses like food and stuff. So you can pretty much just live off just your rental income if you can. I guess it depends on. I mean, you could probably do that. I mean, I was talking with someone about this idea a while ago. Yeah, it's kind of like an arbitrage sort of thing, because you're benefiting from the Western economy while being in a cheaper country. So yeah, it's just an idea, guys. It's just to like cut down your cost of living. Well, you basically, it's like you're not cut down your costs, but like to offset your cost of living, a lot of it. But yeah, it just comes down to like being able to have the money to be able to buy a house in the first place, which is becoming more and more difficult, but it doesn't have to be anything really that expensive. You could just get a starter home, and what you could actually do, another thing, is just buy a really cheap rundown house, get it done up, and then sell it on for a good amount of profit. So there is options. There is things that you can do if you want to just save up a bunch of money. Like if you can save up like 50 grand, something like that, or so, which could take about 3 to 4 years to do, if you really save up every penny and you work like a decent amount of hours. Like if you work, like say 40, 50 hours a week, something like that, depending on your job. But it all comes down to sacrifice. You have to be willing to make cutbacks. You might have to just like avoid going to get your hair cut all the time, for example, and you might have to cut certain services off temporarily just while you're building the finances up. But once you've done all that, and now you can just like live the life you want to live, you have a lot more flexibility. you might just decide to do a buy-to-let mortgage and just rent your house out to somebody and make money from that. You make money from and not even a mortgage, you literally buy it with cash. But I'd have to look at more into it on buy-to-let mortgages, whether you can actually make money whilst having a mortgage. I mean, they might actually, maybe the mortgage payments are actually less than the rental income, which would be ideal because then you're actually making money straight away. I mean, it will take a while to pay back the initial investment if you're, but yeah, because you have to like get the deposit, don't you, for whatever house you're buying. So we've been told by several people that you got a really good voice. Oh yeah, people like my voice and all that, but why is it when I crave junk foods, I want a burger, wings, fries, and pizza too? Because they're very hyper palatable foods. They've got a lot of like things like salt and stuff in it. I got help. I'm getting therapy now. Wish me luck. Okay, good luck. Yeah, you guys take care then, and yeah. Hope you feel better soon. But yeah, like a lot of the salt, a lot of the MSG, a lot of time that they add to it. A lot of times they add MSG to a lot of this food, a lot of flavorings, a lot of this, unnatural flavorings a lot of the time. So yeah, you want to make sure that if you're finding that you're craving a lot of that stuff, try to learn to cook foods that you can season them well and you can get good. Like for example, making your own salads, but learning how to put the right dressings on it. Like for example, you could use lemon and other kinds of things like to give it a bit of a flavor. Like you could do like a balsamic vinegar or something like that. You could there's like lots of stuff that you can do. It doesn't have to be boring. Like for example, when you're cooking, you could put some herbs and spices in it to make it taste better, but still be quite healthy. Just full of a cold. Okay, well, yeah, probably best to just try and not eat too much. Then maybe I don't know. I mean, just do whatever you feel like. If you're not feeling hungry, then just listen to your body. Really, don't be trying to put too much stress on your body, but you might need something to eat to help help your immune system, but just listen to your body and just but probably try and get some fruit and veg down you. It'll probably help you with these sort of things. You don't want to be eating too much of the processed stuff because it might just make things worse. I think things like salt and sugar might actually be really bad for your immune system, actually. I don't see it doing any good. So feed a cold starve a fever. Is that actually true though? Yeah, I don't know if that's actually just some kind of like old wives' tale or something, but you just go with whatever you're feeling like. If you're not feeling hungry, then don't eat too much. Then it's just like if you feel like your appetite's going down, then it's telling you to not eat basically. So yeah, shred Brit foods, lol, mashed potato, beans on toast. Yeah, it's not really the best, is it? What is it? Let's see what's this. Is it saying it's a myth or something? Let's have a look. That it's said to be like a myth or something. But yeah, trying to stay hydrated is important. So I would recommend if you're going to eat something, try to just eat a lot of fruit. It's very hydrating and you're going to get the vitamins and stuff in your body, get your minerals. Make sure that you're getting everything you need, like your vitamin C, for example. Make sure that you're taking vitamin D as well, especially at this time of year. What you mean? It's the name. Yeah, so it's said to be like a false thing or something. It's like when you look at it saying that it's a myth. But the main thing, trying to stay hydrated, is important. All your cells need hydration. They can't function as optimally when they're not getting hydrated. What's the comment? Sorry, I take code Tobster. No, it's not a myth. I'm just saying, like, kind of go with what you feel, but I would just try to avoid any too kind of like dense kind of foods, I would say. Probably best to try and eat stuff that's easy on the digestive system, stuff that's not going to stress your system out. Let's just say you eat a lot of stodgy food that's quite hard on the digestive system. You probably want to eat a lot of like fresh food that's going to be like, how's it going, Caroline? Welcome back. How have you been? Try and get the stuff that's nutrient dense, that's quite easy on your digestive system. So, some oranges, maybe apples, stuff like that. Maybe just have to cook some like spinach perhaps, and yeah, apple a day, lots of water, magnesium is important. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just if it's like really dense, like food that's hard to digest it. Like for example, a lot of this like a lot of this kind of really tough meat and stuff like that. I'm guessing that's probably not going to be the best either. Um, yeah, a lot of like, and also anything with like carbs that are really hard to digest. Maybe not the best when you've got full of a cold. Some traditional and common foods of the UK. I mean, yeah, fish and chips. I mean, it's not really the best, is it? A lot of the UK foods, to be honest. But yeah, elderberries are supposed to be good for colds and stuff like that. So, elderberry syrup. So yeah, it's just trying to focus on good quality food, because you can talk about, feed a cold, starve a fever, but I think the important thing is quality of food. Drinking more water each day and having smoothies each lunchtime, yeah. It can also help to prevent things as well. Like if you're gonna, feed your body the right kinds of food in general, then you probably won't get sick as often, and it probably won't be to the same degree. I see a lot of people getting sick, and they're usually the people that don't have like the healthiest of diets and lifestyles. Getting into a regular exercise routine, that's said to help with lymph flow and help to decrease inflammation, which can help improve your immune system. Because when your body's full of inflammation and oxidation, that's gonna cause your immune system to not work as well, because your immune cells get oxidized, which means that they're going to become impaired. Whenever like for example, have you ever seen rust? Yeah, but you must have seen rust. When things get rusty, what causes rust? Oxidation. So what happens is our body, when we metabolize our sugars and fats and things like that, it produces a thing called free radicals, which are in the forms of things such as reactive oxygen species and stuff like that, it can wreak havoc on the body if not kept in check. So what happens is that these antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E, stuff like that, it's going to go in the body, it's going to scoop up these free radicals, it's actually going to neutralize it, and so that's important for your body to stay healthy. But it's said that this thing called methylene blue that I keep talking about actually has that capability, actually helps to work against oxidative stress. So yeah, you want to make sure that you make sure that you look at the medications that you're taking, that make sure it isn't going to interfere with that. So yeah, Jay, I'm waiting for this brew. Bloody rust. I lost electricity for a month because of rust in a plug socket. Yeah, that's terrible, that. Yeah, rust can really kind of like wreak havoc on things. So yeah, gotta be very careful. Yeah, a lot of times it's because of like when metal gets like, isn't it because of like damp and stuff? Is it? And it gets quite sort of I don't know exactly what causes it, but yeah, it's just and you've noticed like the things like your car tires and stuff like that, and you'll see like all this rust on it, and yeah, Doesn't look very nice, does it? Reminds me of that. Was it Rusty's? Was it that Tomato or something off Cars? Has anyone ever seen the Cars movie before? Yeah, Rusty's reminds me of that. Yeah, I'm sure it was on that. Oh no, it was on the. It was actually on the car thing, but yeah, I just. Oh, it was actually on the cars. It's actually on the. What is it called? The Lightning McQueen or something. I just remember it was a logo thing or something that it was on it called Rusty's. Yeah, that was yeah. Yeah, that might have caused it. Yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah. You got to be careful with that stuff, innit? Yeah, yeah. Damp can cause all sorts of issues, can't it? Like when you've got damp in your house, for example, and that can cause your things to rot. But yeah, I was watching stuff on like like the pyramids and how they were built. But the theories are on like say that they actually they had like like they would actually probably like put them in water to like to make them softer basically. I was watching this theory on like because there was this theory on bashing rocks, but that doesn't work unless you like you wouldn't really get anywhere unless you actually put them in water because the water will help to soften it, or at least at the surface of it, it'll help to make it like erode quicker. They found a dynamo in a pyramid. What do you mean a dynamo? Is that some like I was thinking of dynamo, isn't that the it about like there was this thing called the dyno test. So I was talking with my dad about this, like how because when they test like how fast a car can go, and they put it on this like oh, it's a power generator, or really is this like ancient tech or something? Because it still seems very kind of like it still seems very far-fetched, like how an ancient civilization would have built that. And the thing is, right, we were talking about this a while ago because I think I heard like the average person back then lived till about 28 years old. It's actually less than I am. Literally, the average, I would have been dead by then, pretty much on average, back in ancient Egypt, because all these diseases and stuff. So I don't know. It's just how long would it have took a bunch of people? Like, would it have been really? Would they have felt actually that it was worth doing? I mean, how many people would have had to have been involved for how many years? I mean, when most people would die pretty soon. And I don't know. It just all seemed a bit, yeah. But I did see stuff on like them putting the rocks in the water, but I've seen stuff like pulleys and different things, like theories on that, and like almost like locks and like a kind of like a canal system of like but is that really a sound theory? I mean, kind of ancient. It was the way portable powerful lights were used until Victorian time. Are you interested in theology? I mean, you're not talking about like religion, is it? Or is it just more kind of like when I think of theology, I'm thinking like theism, and it just when it comes to like religion, it's like that stuff doesn't really appeal to me. But I mean, I'm interested in like kind of like different theories and like on how things came about, but I just don't like how like religions like pushed on people. But it's interesting to hear what people believed in and like why did they build the pyramids, and some say it was just like a kind of I hear all these theories that they were built for and there was this idea that there was all these ideas about like how they might have thought that the mummy would have been some kind of like it would have been some spiritual place to like and I've also heard them saying that it might have been a place to harvest energy from. But there was all this stuff. Has anyone seen this thing called the Bosnian pyramid? But then it's kind of been a bit debunked because it only looks like a pyramid from one angle. and it's kind of a bit far-fetched, but there is a lot of pyramids out there. It's like very, very like crazy that, in fact, if I remember, there was the Nubian pyramids, and I think one of them were actually taller. I can't remember if it was actually taller. I don't know if it was taller, but there were some pretty big ones there as well, like the Nubian pyramids. I think they've even found them in Russia, and they're all over the world. Like every continent pretty much has them. So what is it about these pyramids? Because it would signify that, like, if there's pyramids all over the world, then I'm like, well, this was way before people would be traveling between continents and stuff, supposedly. This kind of puts a hole in this theory that, like, I don't know, it just all seems a bit funny how, like, why did they all make these pyramids? Oh yeah, I've seen about that with the positioned under the stars. So what was it? Some kind of like religious thing that they believed that, was it because of like star worship or something? River Nile generated travel and trade, right? Pharaoh wanted them to build to be able to prove he's a god, right? Okay, so it was like so it was a narcissist basically then. Yeah. Hi, Reese M. They are geometrically a structurally strong shape. Maybe it's coincidence. Yeah, I mean, I've seen all kinds of theories on it, and it's just it's very fascinating. It's still that we haven't really fully got to the bottom of things. It's just, I've seen stuff on like sacred geometry and stuff like that, and like the fractal patterns and stuff like that, and how they had knowledge of a lot of stuff back then, and a lot of it's been kind of, that history's kind of like, a lot of history's been forgotten about, which is a shame, but yeah. It's just mad how it was said to be something around maybe 3000 to 5000 BC. And some even suggest that they might go back way further than that. There's been some theories that the pyramids might be more like 30 to 50,000 years old, which is crazy to think that. Because I think that when they were looking at the Sphinx, that they found that it dates back really, really far. But if that's the case, then it would suggest that civilization was actually far more advanced than we give it credit for in like olden times, because people think that up until about a few thousand years ago that humanity was not that advanced because of evolution, and we were not that evolved. There were like these Homo sapiens and all that, and Homo sapiens. The base of the Great Pyramid is much older, so it's the top that you mean is that is the new bit of it. You're saying. Welcome back, Mags. So yeah, it's So like, what you mean the base of it? You mean as in like, up till what point? Like, do you mean the underground part of it? Do you mean like, is there like parts of it that go underground or something? Like, I don't really like know a whole lot about the pyramids, but I just find it quite fascinating. It's just, yeah, and there's pyramids all over the world, so I'm like, how's it going, Brattle 87? Best British city. I mean, York's quite a nice city. I live in York, but like, I guess for like the, cultural diversity, I mean, London would be like, I mean, an obvious one if you want to see different cultures and stuff, but there's a lot of stuff to see there, but yeah. I'm not really that big into like big cities myself. I'd rather be in the countryside and be around hills and mountains and lakes and things like that, really. The Egyptians built it on top of an existing foundation which predates it massively. So yeah, does that like imply anything? Oh yeah, Scarborough, really, yeah. Yeah, and yeah, Scarborough's like, a lot of people don't like Scarborough that much. I think it's more like the center part of it, but once you get out of there and you're in like the kind of, I quite like the countryside is good. Yeah, I like to get. I've been up like Scarborough Castle before. I liked it up there, and there's Peasholm Park. There's some nice bits in Scarborough actually. It's it's just that bit at the front. It's not. It's a bit tatty, isn't it? It's a bit of a. you get all these. It's like you're kind of Benidorm type of people in it, you know, like you're kind of the ones that are just there for like your kind of your fish and chips and all that. You're really like typical kind of English people in it, you know. For some people, they feel like it kind of isn't very classy, but there is nice parts of it. Just like any town and city, I guess it's got its good and bad bits. But yeah, but I would say, oh yeah, Jeremy Kyle, yeah, that's it. That's one way to put it. Yeah, simple Brits. Yeah, I mean Whitby's quite a nice place. A lot of people say Whitby's better. I would say I would agree. I used to think Whitby was really boring, but it's probably back when I was like, would find that any place like that would be boring. But yeah, nothing wrong with being simple. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's like, it's just that a lot of people find that it's a bit, you know, it's just a bit kind of, it's just not very classy is what I'm saying. It's kind of, you know, when you've got all the, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of fun with the arcades and stuff, but it's just not the nicest to look at kind of thing. It's kind of a bit, I don't know, a bit of a dive. But yeah, I've been to Scarborough a few times. It just gets a bit old after a while. Yeah, anyway. I would love to be a guest on your show, or really, yeah. What would you come up to talk about though? Like, but it's very run down here, to be fair. Same with Brid. Yeah, but Brid's not the best either. Hull's got to be the worst though on like the East Coast. One of the worst. I actually know Hull's not even the worst. Grimsby is the worst. Hello Zach, how you doing? Brell says it's the fear to become what you hang around with. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Because I was talking about this a while ago about you are who the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most. So if you hang around with a bunch of like drunk, kind of you know, just I don't really want to say anymore because I don't want to start offending people. But yeah, you know what I mean. Like if you don't want to become like that, then maybe it's best to not hang around with those types to protect your energy, basically, because energy is infectious. Like, yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you, Zach. Yeah, how are you doing tonight? Hope everyone's well. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. That would be really appreciated. Yeah, I'll stay on for a little while longer. Did Abby go? I forgot. Yeah, yeah. There's some people just kind of seem to just drop out without. Oh yeah, Abby's still there. Oh yeah. Been to Stoke, Birmingham, Manchester, and Newcastle. Oh yeah. What the hell was you doing in Stoke of all places? Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's much going on in Stoke. I guess it family or something, because I've never been there, but I doubt there's really much going on there. You got freaking Robbie Williams from there, isn't he? Yeah. Don't really know much about Stoke. It seems like a bit of a, yeah. But yeah, like I said, worst place on the East Coast, probably Grimsby. What a fucking shithole that is. It's literally called Grim. It's got literally Grim in its name. Like, that's... It's just kind of funny that, isn't it? Like the places that's so grim, it's got Grim in its name. A lot of those names around there don't sound very nice, like Scunthorpe and yeah. Reese says my sister lives in York. She likes it there. Yeah, it's a nice place, but yeah, yeah. If you choose a topic, I'll be a guest on it. Loads of drugs and cheap houses and stuff. Yeah, because I saw this post about when it got really bad snow a few years ago, and someone posted something on their Facebook about it that, you know, like when someone's doing drugs in their house, like then they're doing weed, because when it snows, because all that heat that it melts the roof, so it's like, we can see who's doing. We can see who's doing the drugs. Oh yeah, thank you, Zach. Yeah, we can see who's doing drugs here, you know? Yeah. Busted. Don't they like hover with helicopters to like sense it or something, that they can find out who's doing it? So I'm sure I heard that somewhere where they can sense the heat from like different houses, and they'd be like, oh, this person's doing weed. Yeah. Remember the recent riot? Stock was real bad. Oh yeah. Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah, obviously Southport had some really bad riots, but yeah. What infrared cam? Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, the one that can yeah, bust them. Yeah. But yeah, it was probably bad where I used to live. There was areas like Shadsworth and Highcroft in Blackburn, a few other areas as well. Most of the town was rough, really. Like there was a few decent areas, but yeah, it was not the nicest of places, really. Not a lot of prosperity there. I mean, the house prices are pretty cheap, but it's not very prosperous. There's just like not a lot of money going into it these days. There never really has been that. It's never really been that great, to be honest. But yeah, it's just an absolute shithole. But I kind of miss some bits of it, like because when you would leave the town, you have some quite nice countryside with the hills, with the like the Ribble Valley and all that, and it was quite nice out there. I used to enjoy getting on my bike and riding out there. It was quite a nice place to go on it. So I prefer going around like the hills and stuff where it's like, you're going up different like elevations and gradients and things like that. It's a bit more dynamic. Whereas here it tends to be a bit more flat, and you can go out into hills, but it's a few miles until you get into any serious hills. But where I used to live, literally like there was just hills everywhere. It was quite nice. Our drug problem is nothing compared to America, to be fair. You've seen those Philadelphia live cams with all the homeless addicts or tweakers, as they call them over there. That's gross. That's just scary. Oh, yeah, I know. There's a lot of like, isn't it San Francisco? A lot of like fentanyl overdoses and stuff like that. Just a lot of, yeah, really just toxic shit in America, isn't it? Yeah, why is it such a rampant thing in the States? I don't know. But someone was saying like a while ago, like the drug problem's been getting worse. Yeah. Is it just their culture over there where it's bad? California homeless central. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard San Francisco's a real fucking shithole, basically. Like, you think of like it as being like the Silicon Valley and all that, and full of these, rich people, but you've got this like underbelly of like real issues going on. Like, it's like, for example, people think of like the UK as like a rich country, but really it's just a poor country with a rich capital for the most part. Yeah, York's all right as well, and there's a few cities that have some prosperity, but even places like Manchester for the most part are run down as hell. And Birmingham as well. A lot of these cities are pretty run down. Even London. I mean, I bet a lot of people are struggling in London. I mean, look at East End of London, for example. Look at, I mean, there's this whole like north-south divide, and people assume that if you're from the south, you're well off, and if you're from the north, you're not well off. It's not really as simple as that. There's a lot of people from down south that are not very well off, and people are from the north that are very well off. So it just depends on where you are, and even what part of the city you're from. In order to get a one bed apartment in California, you need 10K up front. Wow, that is mad. Is that for a few months of rent, you mean? Because sometimes they'll have you pay 3 months or 6 months rent up front. And it's like, how are you supposed to even afford that when your wages are shit? Because a lot of them are only getting like, was it $15 an hour or whatever? And that just isn't enough to like, yeah. So it's just they don't care, do they? Like, you've got these, they elect these supposedly like left wing, governors or whatever, but yet the problem keeps getting worse. So yeah, it's just absolutely bullshit. I don't know why they have to pay so much up front. I mean, like, just seems like greed to me. But yeah, social engineering. Yeah. I don't know. It's all it's all greed. It's just these these corporate landlords and all that. And now you've got freaking BlackRock trying to buy everything up, and they're buying things up at higher than the price that most people would be willing to pay. So then it's like, then they'll just be like, renting stuff out at like extortionate prices, and soon it'll just be like probably one or two companies that own everything, and you'll own nothing and be happy. Remember that? Yeah, you'll own nothing and be happy. Let's say I think the middle class have was systematically removed in recent years, especially during the COVID era. Yeah, exactly. I live in Texas, where we only have to pay 900 up front. Well, that's not too bad, is it? So that's Chad. Yeah, how you doing, Chad? Anyway, but yeah, it's different everywhere. It's good to hear from different people's stories on things, because sometimes people can get a bit ignorant and be like, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, young man. Back in my day, we didn't have all this attitude. We just bloody get on with it. Yeah, that's it. With the middle, we've got the middle class diminishing. So you've got people like, what's the point? Yeah, with the COVID, I actually think it was an agenda that they're basically trying to, because you hear all these like small businesses that failed during that time, and they couldn't survive. And then for example, we had pubs shutting down. And somebody argued that they were going to shut down anyway, but I don't necessarily think they were all going to shut down. And I think they were trying to like deliberately make it so like things such as Weatherspoons would then buy them out. So you have these bigger chains buying out the smaller ones. It's just very kind of predatory, isn't it? And I think it's all a big scheme. It's just when you've got corrupt governments interfering with things, then yeah. So couldn't like someone move to say like Texas if they were from like California, they couldn't afford to buy a house over there? I guess it depends if they can, because obviously you've got like competition for housing and stuff. So one of the things would be to get rid of zoning laws. Like a lot of these zoning laws, from what I understand, are just really quite unnecessary and actually prevent a lot of houses from being built. So that would be probably one of the biggest issues, from what I've heard, is they're supposedly there to like, it's some kind of like regulation or whatever, but a lot of it's just unnecessary, and it just halts progress when it comes to building houses. Yeah, it seems like they're just deliberately trying to stop them from being built because they're creating more of a shortage on purpose. It's all just like, it's just, I actually think that maybe it's corporations that are behind this, I don't know, but smoking ban killed pubs, they never recovered. They should have just have smoking and non-smoking pubs. Yeah, exactly. Now some people might say though that it might put a strain on the healthcare system. That's one of the arguments for banning smoking, that if people are going to go smoking in pubs, then it's just going to make things worse, because they're all breathing in each other's smoke, and it just makes it worse. It might make them kind of, it'll just make it worse for the people smoking, basically. Because let's say they're all, smoking there, then they're breathing in each other's secondhand smoke. So you have a good mic. Oh, thank you. We need rent caps. Yeah, well, that would be maybe a good idea, but unfortunately, we're not going to see anything like that anytime soon, I don't think. But a lot of people are looking at, just living in freaking trailers, caravans, stuff like that. vans. I see a lot of people doing van life and stuff and just living cheaper. But it's difficult for a lot of people to do that because of the extortionate insurance costs, for example, on vans, especially in this country where a lot of people might want to do van life, but how much does it cost to insure your van? It could cost you, let's say it costs you £1,000 a year, then you've got to put petrol in it, or diesel, or whatever, gas, in the tank. You've then got to pay for like MOT and like repairs, things like that. There's so many like costs of these things, and there's some that you might not even consider. It's like, such as sometimes you need to do an oil change or something like that, and it's, these are all things that add to the costs of all of that. And yeah, it's just gonna, it's not cheap. Like, that can set you back thousands of pounds every year. You might even be cheaper to just rent somewhere in some cases than to do van life. So it's just not really practical for a lot of people. The main problem is most people think the ruling class give a shit about their lives. It annoys me how samey everyone is these days. It's like the program to not have critical thought. Exactly, that's right. You're quite kind of like based with your what you're saying there. It's the ruling class doesn't care, and no one seems to really, really kind of be aware of that. They're just kind of, people are just living in kind of like ignorance. But they say ignorance is bliss, but it's not though, is it? Ignorance is not bliss. Because that's what got us into this mess, is people's ignorance, people's ignorance of the reality that we're in. People just ignoring the fact that, because people don't watch politics, because they're not interested, because it's too boring for them. And it's like, the thing is, when you actually look into it, you come to realize how much of a load of bullshit it all is. Like I said, I don't actually look at politics because I've seen enough to see that no matter who you vote for, it's all lies. They don't even have any power, these people. The system is so corrupt and powerful that even if someone that had went in with good intentions, they wouldn't be able to really do anything. There's just too many people like pressuring them, and then there's bribes and stuff. It's just, they're pretty much powerless to change anything. We need a complete overhaul of this whole system that we're in, is really what needs to happen. That we can't just vote our way out of it. We can't vote someone else in and suddenly things get better. Look, we've got this Keir Starmer, and people thought, we vote in, someone that's for the working class. No, it's not. It's not happening. Don't teach us how to do basic motor repairs at school, do they, or anything else that might be useful for a normal adult to know. They need us to consume and be reliant on the state. Yeah, I know. They should be teaching us life, like survival skills, but I've heard that there used to be these things called like Boy Scouts or something, but I've heard that they don't even really do that anymore. But they should be teaching stuff in the school curriculum. Like, it shouldn't be like extracurricular activities to learn how to start a fire, for example. Hello, Gene, how you doing? Works just fine if you have Trump in office. Well, but I've not really seen anything, I don't know, really changing though. Like, when he was in office, did it really, yeah, it's just, I remember seeing this graph on American debt, and no matter whether Republicans or Democrats got in, it's still going up. So yeah, some people might argue that one's slightly worse than the other. At the end of the day, your vote's really not going to have that much of an impact on politics. It's like, look at what happened with the 2020 shit, you know? Like, he couldn't even, do anything about all that. It's like, he had freaking, like, Anthony Fauci, he had, like, all these, like, more kind of establishment types who were, like, fighting against it, what he was trying to do. So it doesn't matter, like, what really who gets in, and you could argue they might have some might have a little bit of influence, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't really notice much of anything. It'll be, let's make America great again, but I don't see anything changing really. We'll see what happens. Maybe it was just a bad time when it got to 2020, and yeah, I don't know, but it's all a show. They play the good cop, bad cop routine over and over to keep us all divided in our opinions and make us more easily controllable. A divided nation will never evolve. Yeah, exactly. That's what they do with all the race war, the sex, like the gender thing, like the making men and women fight against each other. They want that. They want everyone divided up, because then we're not going to come together and put our differences aside and just focus on the bigger picture. And we should all be trying to, if we really want change to happen, then we've got to be willing to put our differences aside. We can't be like, focusing on what makes us different, because the thing is, though, everyone's different and we should accept that, and we shouldn't be judging anyone for what they are, because we can't help how we were born. I mean, it's just, but they want to just like bring in race into things, like critical race theory. Like I said, on like, there was this whole thing on like the slave trade, and it was all like I said, I was kind of on a rant earlier about how that was all kind of, like misleading, the way that they try to portray the white as the bad people. But when you actually look into it, it was really people have enslaved each other from different countries throughout history, and actually the black people were enslaving their own people before they got took to America. And yes, all they did is they just got transported to a different country. That's all that happened. But like I said, white people have been enslaved by other people before, so it's not a race thing. It's that it's a class thing. You've got peasants and you've got the peasant masters, like we've had throughout history, of like back in feudal times. And even more recently, in times like the Victorian era, where things were quite dystopian with things such as workhouses, and there was people living in quite crappy conditions, like back-to-back houses, and some of the stuff I've heard from that era is pretty horrible. They'd be getting a lot of like children sweeping chimneys, going in these really unhealthy sort of environments with all the soot. They're breathing all that crap in. So yeah, I mean, people have been through a lot of crappy times, like no matter if you're black or white. So yeah. So we feel like we need them to save us. Yeah, it's all about like is it the Hegelian dialectic they call it, which usually entails us giving up our money and freedoms. Yeah, the Hegelian dialectic, isn't it? There's something I've been looking into, this thing like Hegelian dialectic. It's called problem, reaction, solution. That's what they did with all the shit in the past, like when it comes to things like the Iraq War, even, for example, like the war on terror, or whether they do like the war on drugs or whatever. They manufacture problems, so then they just to make us more dependent on them for like to basically take away people's freedoms, that we need them to be the authority instead of us being the authority. It's all about gaslighting us to thinking that that we need them. They're masters at gaslighting people, like how we've got the media. The media works for them the Operation Mockingbird media. That's why I don't watch the news. It's all designed to, it's all designed to, it basically, like you said, social engineering. It's designed to manipulate your thoughts. It's like a virus. It's like a mind virus. Basically, it's there to gaslight the mind. And people will think, oh, because it's from it's the news, it must be legit. No, there's actually an all-time low trust in the media, and in the news in general. Hardly anyone really trusts in it, especially these more biased ones, like the BBC, for example, is just full of biased reporting, and people can talk about these alternative medias as being biased and unreliable, but BBC has a clear agenda with what they're doing, and it's just kind of funny how they're not even funny. It's just it's like how they've had all these people that have been in their kind of company before, a lot of dodgy people, shall we say. And yet people will still, spend money on a TV license to support these people that they keep on more and more of them getting exposed all the time. Yeah. I don't think you can find truth in anything mainstream these days. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's it. It's just there to gaslight, and I know some people might say that word's overused, but I think in this scenario, it is literally gaslighting. It's there to kind of, it's all to put ideas in your head of things that aren't true. Like to get you to think that like we shouldn't have our freedoms because maybe a small percentage of people do certain things. It's like when they had all this stuff on, like when they talked about, oh, maybe we need a curfew for men or something like that. That's because people keep watching these stories on the news, these stories that keep getting highlighted. But the thing is that the more you keep watching all this stuff on, how's it going, Elliot? I don't really use mouthwash. I should just use toothpaste, but I use a fluoride-free toothpaste. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So like what was I saying? But yeah, it's like we've got these bunch of NPCs that are they're just very much just like gobble up whatever the news says, and there's still quite a lot of those people. And I find a lot of the people in like the universities tend to be a lot of groupthink, and some of them might deep down feel like there's something wrong with what's being said, but they just go along with it because they're afraid to actually call anything out. So they just agree to it. Like, it seems to be a lot of these types. I noticed like a lot of them were like wearing masks, even when it wasn't even mandatory anymore. Because I noticed this area where I live where it's like loads of them wearing them. And I would go back to Blackburn where there was like not a load of those type of people. And there was hardly anyone wearing them. So it seemed that those were like some of the most brainwashed people. And this is the problem, is that these people that go to uni, they think they're so academic and so bright, so intelligent. But yet they seem to be the most easily brainwashed. What do you mean? What's that? What's Mistwak? Is that a YouTuber or something? The fence outside my house is 3 foot high. Which toothpaste is it? What are you on about? Why are you on about that? People were wearing them in their cars on their own. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, I never understood it all. It was just, I think it was a lot of it was virtue signaling, really. They'd be like, oh, it's to make other people feel safe. And I'm like, but if they need you to wear a mask to make them feel safe, even though they don't work, then aren't you then just kind of lulling them into a false sense of security then? Because we know that masks don't actually stop transmission, really. Especially the cloth masks that most of them would be wearing. They do very little to stop transmission, but people are like, oh, well, it's to make other people feel safe, like these old people. And I'm like, if they really don't feel safe, then they shouldn't be going out. They shouldn't be going out in the first place then. And if you're not wearing a mask, they'll probably just avoid you anyway. But if they see you with a mask on and they feel more safe, then isn't that dangerous for them then? It's a lot of fucking bullshit. Because I noticed as soon as people started wearing masks, everyone was all kind of just seemed to be more comfortable getting close with each other. It's an absolute fucking joke. Before that, everyone was all panicking. And as soon as they put masks on, everything's fine. So actually, I noticed that the cases went up when the mask started to get used. Because then people like want to, kind of hang around closer with each other. So I know like some people might say that the whole thing was a lie, but it was, it's just, it just shows you how nonsensical it was, all these restrictions and things. Remember when we couldn't even talk about the vaccine? I know, I actually got fucking a YouTube channel banned for talking about potential treatments for it, for the virus. So I don't even talk about it anymore because I don't want that happening again. So yeah, what a crazy time to live through. The unvaxxed were treated like the Jays in WW2. I know, it's mad, isn't it? Like how we were seen as like the enemies, but people are starting to see it more and more that we're actually the ones that have more sense. They're seeing all these people with these cardiovascular problems afterwards, these blood clotting issues that they got afterwards in a lot of cases that, that can be directly linked to these jabs. And it seems like some of them have different adverse effects. And yeah, but we didn't really hear much of talk about healthy diet and exercise and stuff like that to help to keep you healthy. Yeah, no one seemed to really care about that. In fact, they shut the gyms down for a while, and people were kind of at home more. Not really. A lot of times they would be getting unhealthy. Yeah, it was just. But there were some people that actually did get into fitness and lost a good bit of weight, but I think the average person actually, their health got worse during that time. And a lot of people, it took a while for their health to improve again, because once you get into bad habits, for some people, it can be quite difficult to get back out of. And it just goes, and it's also the social element as well, where nothing's been the same since. Like the way that people interact with each other since then has just not been the same. They didn't shut McDonald's though, yet people think the government care about them. Exactly. It's all bullshit, isn't it? Oh yeah, you take care, Abby. It was all bullshit. Like they keep McDonald's open and they they kept the chippies open, didn't they? I remember your English chippies, your Chinese chippies, and your takeaways, they were allowed to stay open. But yet your what was deemed as unnecessary businesses that they were had to shut. The stuff that was actually selling healthier food a lot of the time. Like your cafes were shut, it's just a lot of bullshit. Yeah, they don't care about you. I think it was all deliberately for making all these corporations richer. It's an absolute disgrace. I think there needs to be some accountability. I mean, people were talking about like Nuremberg and all this shit, and yeah, that should be like. I actually think there should be some kind of. I'm not saying that they should be exterminated, whatever the people be. I'm not advocating for violence. I'm just saying that people need to be held to account. because people were like, oh, we should just give amnesty and all that. And it's like, well, when you've tried to basically force people into taking a procedure that they don't want and, do all this kind of crap that they don't want to do, trying to make people wear masks and things like that, and cause people to snitch on others and cause people to fall out over it. And, this is all just, like it's caused a lot of trust issues. And for what? For what? Right, Xander, welcome back. But yeah, I've kind of been on a bit of a rant, really. But yeah, it's just what a time to be alive, eh? All this shit that went through, with the 2020. It's just, I still can't believe that. Yeah, all the nonsense that happened. And of course, you can say there were some good things to come from it. Thank you for the 13 likes, everybody. Of course, I'm not saying it was all bad, and there was some good things to come out of it. But you might say that this whole work from home stuff it woke a lot of people up the upside. Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if this whole work from home thing is even a good thing, because it just encourages people to be less social. So I don't even think that was a good thing. I hear some people saying that the whole work from home was good, but it's just isolating people even more, isn't it? Since then, more and more people have been doing that. How's it going? Hope Barlow. My disabled girlfriend broke up with me, so I took her wheelchair, I guess. Who came crawling back? Oh goodness, that is terrible. Remember in lockdown, they had a death counter on the TV each evening. Yeah, that was just to kind of scare everybody to death. I mean, who knows? A lot of the deaths that we got. I mean, because the thing is, if you're in a state of fear constantly, when you're constantly seeing stuff like that, imagine all these old people watching the news. How is that going to affect them? They could probably be panicking, and then that might have been what killed them in some cases. When you're constantly seeing deaths going up and they're saying, oh, all these old vulnerable people dying, and it's like, that is not helping, is it? Yeah, you're just going to create panic and hysteria. Yeah, so anyway. So media is just a very toxic place. It's very low vibrational, and you really want to be watching high vibrational stuff, like stuff that, like I try to do on here with like talking about health and things that people can do to optimize their health and their well-being. I've been looking into different supplements and things like that that can help people, and different foods that people can eat to feel better, different exercises that people can do to get fitter. What you mean, Hope? My mum got the jab. She said she regrets it and has never been so ill ever since. Really? Wow. Yeah, it's just, I hear so many cases of people feeling sick after getting these things. It's just, yeah, it's just an absolute disgrace the way that they treat people. They tried to like do this thing with the nurses where they were like, but they had to like let them back because there was almost 100,000 nurses that quit over that. They all kind of came together in solidarity against it, which good on them for actually like standing their ground, because yeah, they can't just like be doing this strong arm stuff. It's just, it's like, at least it kind of shown that there at least is a certain percentage of the population that is willing to stand up for themselves and not let people walk all over them and get over on them. And it's just, yeah, there is some strong people out there who are willing to fight for what's right. and hopefully those numbers will continue to grow. And so I think it's good that people become less trusting in the state, because yeah, because I was talking with Mick the other night on this kind of stuff, on how, will they actually be victorious with all this shit that they're trying to push with the you'll own nothing and be happy kind of crap with the World Economic Forum and all that. Because if they push people too far, the people will push back. There's this whole kind of like pendulum swing effect, where the more that you push somebody, the more, because they think that there's this kind of like, it's a kind of scientific thing of like every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if you push people too hard, that can cause them to push back. And if you want to actually, sort of, control people, then you have to basically, I mean, what a lot of the time you would do is like, they say like, if you want to control the opposition, then you have to lead it yourself, sort of thing. But like, so sometimes you would use infiltration to basically, this is what they would do basically. It's like if they say like an opposition, for example, hippies, and how some people say that they were actually co-opted. Basically, they were infiltrated by agents to stop that movement from really getting big. I mean, it was just kind of like this sort of, sort of like a, not underground, but it was like, it wasn't mainstream. And they had to try and, I think they actually made it all kind of like a bunch of degenerates. And Agenda 21, oh yeah, yeah. But it's like, I mean, the whole hippie thing, I mean, they might have, the original people that started may have had some good intentions, but then some people might argue that it was never good, and it was all just a controlled thing from the beginning. But I don't know. But let's say if it was legitimate to begin with, and there was people that were genuinely about peace and love and all that, but then it turned into something that it was not meant to be. So this is what you'll get with like agents and stuff like that, like you might call them like double agents or whatever, where they have ulterior motives. And you have to be careful with these sort of people. Like if you're getting into some movement, if you start a movement, you have to stay vigilant. Look out for anyone that seems dodgy, someone that seems to be trying to, like a spy or something like that. Be very careful what kind of information you give out. Look out for any red flags of like any kind of dodgy person that just doesn't seem right. Always go with your gut on this, I would say. Like, if somebody doesn't seem right, probably not. The dogs eating the cats. They're eating their cats, they're eating their dogs, they're eating their pets. Yeah. So yeah, what's this? If you're oh yeah, I don't know about pizza topping. I don't know. Anyway, probably going to be getting off soon, but yeah, what we're saying, people, let's just eat the rich soul. COVID mashed the NHS. What it was the fact that they made all the people kind of not going to the hospital when they had problems, and they made people like wait to get it treated, which caused a massive pile up in the NHS, which I still think it hasn't been resolved, has it? So yeah, I suppose a lot of it isn't NHS's fault. It's just the system that we're in and how it they made it to where, like, yeah. Because I remember back in like the lockdown days where a lot of these hospitals were empty because they were basically making people stay at home. So if you're making people stay at home, then it's going to put strain on the NHS, because then eventually people are going to need to go to the hospital. So yeah, our take care's under. But yeah, it's just I don't really talk about a lot of this stuff much these days. It's just because at the end of the day, what's done is done, and there's nothing we can do about it now. And you can warn people, but I think at this point, if you're not aware to how the system is corrupt, then is there really any hope for you? There's all these people that still have faith in politics, that believe that they can vote their way out of, like, the cost of living crisis, for example, because they're deliberately trying to destroy the middle class. Like you said, there barely even is a middle class anymore. It's pretty much just us versus them at this point. There used to be a lot more upward mobility. People could work their way up and they could get the freaking white picket fence and whatever crap, get the American dream, but for a lot of people, it's just, I mean, like I said earlier, I know I was kind of being hopeful earlier as well, saying that if you want to really get somewhere, you can. It's just that they're going to make you have to, like, be willing to save every penny that you make for the next few years. For a lot of people, they're just going to struggle with that really bad, because they want to be able to live while they're alive. They're not going to be wanting to be miserable pretty much for the next few years. But if you really want to get rich, then just really kind of working longer hours and saving up more, being more frugal. I mean, that's probably going to be one of the best things to do. Once you've saved up a base of money, like a basic amount of money to get started, then you can then sort of start to take your foot off the gas a bit and just start to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Once you've started to buy, say if you get into property, you start buying up homes to rent out, and after you bought a few, then you might be able to just live off that, and you just keep on adding them to your portfolio, and you pretty much at that point, it's almost like a passive income. You can then get people to manage it. And what's it, Mark? How you doing? What foot do you stand on a scooter with, and what foot do you use to push? I'm actually goofy, if that's what you mean. I used to ride a skateboard, and I was goofy stance. So yeah, I don't know why it was, because like I'm actually right-handed normally, but I also do some things with the left hand as well. But I think I can train myself to use both hands as well, like in certain instances. Like I'm left foot stand, right foot push. Yeah, I'm left foot push on a skateboard, so it'd be the same on a scooter as well, won't it? But I was wondering if I'd be able to do it both ways if I learned it that way too. It's just because I actually learnt myself to write with the left hand as well, even though that's not my dominant when it comes to writing. But I've got to a point where I'm pretty much like ambidextrous. Like if I just keep training with the other hand, then eventually it'll just like catch up with the other one. I don't know if everybody can do it, maybe not, but some people might be more naturally inclined to be able to be more ambidextrous. Because I would like normally, like when I would do my card tricks, I would like fan them with my left hand. I would hold them in my right and fan them with my left. But I learned to be able to do it the other way around as well. So yeah, I'd feel dirty if I did it the other way. That's what she said. Yeah. These questions, I know, like, what the hell? But they were saying something, I don't know how true it is, about like if we learn to write with both the left and right hand, that there might be a thing of like synchronization in the brain hemispheres. I don't know how true it is. Maybe it's kind of like a bit of a myth, but I remember hearing this thing about binaural beats or something, and apparently that can help your brain or something. And again, I don't know if that really works, or to create new neural pathways and stuff like that. I don't know. It could be some bro science crap. I just keep seeing all these videos pop up of like binaural beats music. Because the idea is that you wear headphones and there'll be one frequency coming through one ear and then another frequency coming through the other ear. And your brain makes up the difference or something. It's quite fascinating, but I don't know if it really has some positive effect on your brain, on the brain function, but just something to look into, I guess. Anyway, thank you for the 16 likes, everybody. Thank you very, very much. But yeah, I'm probably going to be getting off here in a second, but yeah. But it's been good to hang out with you all. I appreciate you all keeping me company tonight, so yeah. But yeah, I'll be back on in the morning, so yeah, just been really trying to build this up, and really just trying to. Oh, hello, Medium Scorn 89. How are you doing? You alright? I hope that obsessed woman left you alone. Well, I blocked her off everything, so just really fucking what a nutcase. Yeah, thank you for the 17 likes, everybody. Yeah, I'm doing fine, thank you, Medium. Yeah, what have you been up to today? Yeah, you're off now. It's a name. Yeah, I'm going to be getting off as well, but yeah. Hi, Sanji. Well, you know, I, like I said earlier, I don't think it really makes much of a difference who wins, to be honest. But yeah, I just don't really care that much. Maybe she attracted to you, yeah, but it's like she was just very narcissistic and full of herself. Like, it was just very much like she always needed my attention. It was all very kind of. It was like nothing was ever enough. Uncle Trump is too. I'm not too old. I'm the same you're only as old as you feel. I feel like a 20-year-old. I'm 20 years old. That's not bad news. I'm 20 years old. Not telling lies. The truth. People are not practical, right? She was jealous too, right? Yeah. She was too jealous. It was just like, but she clearly hadn't been working on herself. She claimed that like she was sending me some message when I blocked her saying that, oh, I'm working on my issues, and it's like, but then she would keep on messing around. And then it was when the other day and someone shared this thing that, hello Zach, welcome back, that she put a post out on her. Yeah, she put a post out on her Facebook apparently, and it's like I think she blocked me off it, but someone sent me a screenshot of it. Yeah, this was my ex-girlfriend, but she was like, she was just like going on about some comment that she put in my YouTube chat, which was some horrible comment she was put there, and it's like, she put something like, oh, hope it goes well with you and Abby, or something like that, and I hope you do too, or all, something like that, and then said like in a sarcastic way, hope you get hell or something like that, and then someone sent me a thing where she put it on her Facebook, and it was about that song "Gives You Hell" by the All American Rejects, just being a really bitter, horrible person. That's like, she clearly isn't working on herself because she's still up to her fucking. All right, Mark. Yeah, it's just when people are doing that shit, then, like I said, I've moved on, but like, it's just, I told like the person who sent it that to just probably just block her, and just because otherwise, if people keep sending me stuff that she's Glad to be old and married. Social media is tough for youngsters. Glad I missed it. Yeah, I wish I was around in a time when, it seemed like there was a lot more true like romance back then, and it's just nowadays people are so much in their own heads. Everyone's all trying to compete with each other, and if they haven't got like a certain look about them, then they feel like that they're inferior, and it's like it's very superficial. It's made people, and they become very insecure. A lot of body dysmorphia, and then because there's so many people on it, then people are worried that you might cheat on them for somebody else. So I mean, I get why people can get all jealous and insecure or whatever, but that's not my problem. If you're going to be like that, then you need to work on yourself, and otherwise it's just the way that the act was very narcissistic, and it's not even that they're insecure a lot of the time. It's that they need all your attention, and they'll just zap your energy. They'll try to make you be their bitch, basically. It's like they'll try to wrap you around their little finger. You can get away from people today. They can always get to you, bully the kids at school. Just don't get a rest. Yeah. Well, they say that hurts people. So I try to see the best in people, that, even if they come across quite nasty, that maybe they've been through some bad shit, but the thing is, though, this person claims to have a BPD and a lot of trauma and stuff, but it's like, it doesn't really justify you treating people like shit, though, does it? She was literally trying to fight with people in my live chat over on TikTok, just trying to be really just horrible, and yeah, you should have seen the shit that was going on, all the chaos that was happening. So yeah, what's that well said? Again about what is it? Hurt people. But it doesn't. Hello, Hannah. How have you been? You alright? Better late than never. I'm going to be getting off here soon, but yeah. And the time is 22:22, so yeah, we've got a synchronicity there. I don't know whether that means anything, but some people believe in these, like, when they see these numbers like 1111, for example, that signifies something. So yeah. But yeah, how's it going anyway? I don't really see you on here that much, but I guess it's because I'm not on TikTok anymore. But yeah, no, not too bad, thank you. I suppose you did stay around for a while the other day, but yeah. But apparently Tigaloo doesn't really come on here very much, unfortunately. But yeah, because Richard was telling me about that. But it's a shame that they wouldn't hang around with us, because we've actually had a pretty good live tonight, and been a fair few people interacting, and yeah, yeah. How's things? I forget about YT Live, so sorry, it's okay. Yeah. It depends if you get the notification, isn't it? But I remember you was hardly even getting the notification much on TikTok, and it was only when people would send you the link to it, isn't it? Because wasn't it Abby? Who was it that sent you the link when I was on? Because you said that someone would send you a link on TikTok to my live or something. You will find someone better than that woman, yeah, definitely. Because it's not hard to be better than her, is it? It's not, the bar hasn't really been set very high, has it? Yeah, Abby, Haley, or Richard, yeah. They're always like the supportive ones who try to help bring people in, and yeah. Oh no, that it's not hard, I know, because she was like trying to attack you, wasn't she? So yeah. So all these people that are like, oh, when there was someone saying that, oh, you're calling her a psychopath because because she doesn't feel loved, and it's like they don't even know the half of it. They don't know what's going on, like all the abuse that's been going on. And it's not just me who's been abusing other people. This is why I want to get her shut down, because she might then go on and do it to somebody else. And it's like, but yeah, because someone might be actually very mentally unwell and she doesn't care. She could really like break somebody mentally, and she's just absolutely reckless. She's a Jezebel spirit. She sounds like she was obsessed with you. Hopefully when you have someone else, she doesn't know about it and get more jealous. Yeah, I mean, it's good to have someone like, I think it's good if they're obsessed in like a more healthy way, I guess. But when it gets to a point where it's like, um, when it gets to a point where they can't bear to even not be around you for like so long, and they start all panicking and stuff, and it's like you have to learn to be not too attached. But you have to look at your attachment style and all that. There's a book called Attached. I haven't read it, but apparently it talks about the three different attachment styles. There's anxious attachment style, there's avoidant attachment style, and there's secure attachment style. So yeah, I would actually say I'm somewhere between anxious and avoidant in a way. It's kind of like, which might sound a bit confusing, but I would tend to find that if I start to get too kind of anxious with things, I have to try and just back off to just keep my sanity. I would just use it as like a kind of as a mechanism to like to get some control back, because it can get very kind of it can really take over your life when you start to get, because I tend to find I get more and more attached the more closer I would get to somebody, and in order to like withdraw it, I would have to like pull away, and even if it's just for a few hours, just to kind of clear my mind and just do my own thing. So yeah, it's just you have to be mindful of to be able to just like to be able to back off for a while and just have your own space, because I'll tend to be more happy when I'm able to have my own space, because you can feel like quite it can make you feel almost like claustrophobic in a sense, where if you always feel like that you have to be like there with them, and because then you feel like that you're not doing enough, or you could feel like you're doing too much, and then it just gets like, yeah. So it's good to be able to have things to kind of like divert your mind to. It might be just going and meeting other people. It might be go do something, go for a walk, something like that. Just clear your mind of it all. That's what I would suggest. Yeah. Not heard of attachment styles. We'll read up on that. Cheers, you're welcome. Yeah, I'm still here. I was going to get off, but there's a few people still here, and I thought I'd just talk a bit about this. So yeah, no, Hannah's from up like northeast sort of way. So yeah. I don't know if it's still classed as Yorkshire up where you are. I know like Middlesbrough is still technically Yorkshire, but yeah, I guess I don't know if it's more like in common with like northeast than it is with Yorkshire, but people think of it more as like a kind of stalemate. I'll do a couple more minutes. No, Scouse, so where I am, it's more County Durham. Yeah, county. So you're in County Durham then, so that's like, yeah. It's kind of like a plastic Geordie, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Kent is nice. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, Kent's got nice gardens and stuff, hasn't it? And yeah, it looks quite nice. I think isn't Hampshire meant to be quite nice as well? Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, Hampshire's supposed to be nice. What's the place like? Winchester is supposed to be a nice place. Yeah. Yeah. How's it going, Vinod Kumar? You look like a Hollywood heroine, but I can't figure out which one, or really which one's that. I don't know. Anyone got any ideas which one I look like? I've had comparisons to all sorts of people, but oh yeah, you take care, Mark. Yeah, I'll hope to see you again soon. But yeah. Anyway, what's RDJ? What's that RDJ? I don't know RDJ. Is that an abbreviation? R D J. I don't know. Robert Downey Jr. Oh, really? I don't know how I could look like Robert Downey Jr. I don't think I look anything like him. I had someone saying I look like a bit like Chris Evans, but I don't even think I look that much like him really, but I'd say I look more like Chris Evans though than Steven Gerrard. Oh, really? Ah, mate, I'm Steven Gerrard. James Milner, I don't know who that is. I've had people saying I look like fucking Harry Kane. That's the one I get the most common, either Harry Kane or Cole Frott. Those are the two I get the most common, I think, out of all of the comparisons that I get. But I don't think I look even that much like them, really, but I don't know, it's just like with Harry Kane, and when I look at him, he's just got some kind of goofy kind of features and stuff. Like his face, kind of like, if you look at like the shape of his face and all that, it's a bit different, I guess. Like it's just kind of in a sense that I think he's got a bit more kind of a longer face than mine. I noticed like my face shape actually changed over the years. I was wondering if the mewing exercises helped with that, perhaps. Because there's this whole thing about the mewing thing. James Milner, okay. But there's this thing called mewing, and it's like something that like a lot of like the looksmaxxing community and the self-improvement community talks a lot about. But basically is that sticking your tongue to the roof of your mouth and keeping it there. And it supposedly can help to push your jaw out more. Another thing that one of the other things that this guy called Mike Mew teaches is a thing called, like basically like chewing techniques, like to exercise the jaw and stuff, so you have more of a stronger jaw. Because I noticed on an old photo, my jaw kind of looked a little bit kind of weak, and it just looked kind of, I don't know, it might have just been my age. I think I was just nearly turning about 21 at the time. But then again, my jaw should have been pretty much developed by then. So it could be that I've, my diet or whatever it might be, eating more chewier kind of foods, perhaps. I don't know. It's just it's just a phenomenon. I've noticed that my jaw has changed in shape a little bit. I don't know. It could be, I don't know. So the thing is, if you are a certain age and you think, oh yeah, it's over, and it's like, it could be that you're, I wouldn't really say I look like James Milner now. I don't think I look like him really. I don't know. I wouldn't say I look so much like him. Like his face is kind of like yeah. It's a bit of a different shape to mine. His ears stick out quite a bit. I've noticed. He's got a bit of the like what they would call like the barn door ears. I guess like the hair is quite similar, but yeah. But yeah, some of his features are a bit kind of goofy, you could say. I guess I can see where you're coming from, but I just don't think I look that similar to him. I'm shattered. I'm shattered tonight. Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, yeah. Maybe I'll fall asleep on this boring ass live. Yeah. And you'll wake up and be like this. Anyway, I'm gonna get going, guys. It's about time I get off because I think everyone's pretty much almost gone now. I don't think that I'm just kind of kidding, really. Sometimes I do like self-deprecating humor and shit. So some people say you shouldn't do self-deprecating humor. I mean, the thing is though, it's like you shouldn't do self-deprecating humor because I'm so terrible at it. Get it? Because I'm just like, I do then no one else can. What's that? I do it all the time. That's what she said. Later, guys. Take care, medium. Have a good one. Can we get to 20 likes? We're almost on 20 likes, guys. 18 likes. Yeah. So if anyone else hasn't liked the live, then can you please do that? Look, she said The Office. Oh yeah, the Office. Yeah, that was what was it called? Steve Carell was it called? The guy that the American Office. Never really seen it, but yeah, maybe I should watch it. Michael Scott. What do you mean? Who's Michael Scott? Wasn't it? I thought it was Steve. What is he called? Steve Carell, the guy who we had talked about Dundee, I think. I don't know, but yeah, 19 likes. Can we get to 20 likes real quick? Let's get one more like on this live before I wrap this up. Dundee muffin. It sounds like that Dindu muffin. Dindu muffin. Like didn't do nothing or something like Dindu. Yeah, like that kind of like a joke name or something. I don't know. Dindu muffin. I don't know. It's like we had that person in the chat the other day called Lexi Donuts, and I just realized the other night like what it actually was like about like when you say it, Lexi the nuts. Let's see the nuts. Dunder. Is it Dunder Miff? Is it Mifflin? Paper Combat or it's that, I don't know, but I'm staying until we get to 20 likes. I wanna get there. I'm determined. Yeah. Well, anyway, but yeah, how are we doing, people? I hope you're all doing well tonight. Yeah, it's been a good laugh. I see 20 now. I still see 19, so it's just that maybe on some people's end it's 20, but I guess whatever I'm seeing is like the actual numbers. But I guess I could like my own live, but I just feel like that's kind of just cheating. I don't really see the point in doing that. Yeah, a lot of people like their own lives and videos. I don't know. I just think it's kind of sad, really. But yeah, you get 20. Oh yeah. Well, we're down to like one person. It's saying now, so I don't know if we're gonna get there because most of the people have left at this point. We had a good chat earlier, though. It was quite busy. We had about 13, 14 people at one point, I think. Which, from my YouTube channel, it's been all right. I mean, it was a bit slow the first few days coming back on here, but started to pick up a little bit. We're getting a few more regulars coming in. Oh, we're on 20 now. Thank you very much. What time do I come on live? Usually early mornings, usually about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and then about 7 p.m. So I'm trying to just like be consistent with it and just keep keep putting this stuff out because I'm trying to get monetized on here pretty soon. So yeah, I just gotta keep getting the watch hours up, and I'll still go live once I get monetized as well. It's just you have to really put the hours in. You have to grind. But yeah, I've got some plans soon as well. Like I said, I'm planning to move to a static caravan and hopefully gonna do like a rental thing on that. I've got a lot of things I want to do. I want to do some busking. I want to do some, yeah, I want to do so much with my life. I even want to do like a bungee jump at some point and do that for charity. That would be pretty epic. It'd be great if I could film it. It would be great to like film it and share it and inspire people. And yeah, I want to try and get some people involved in it, get some sponsors, get some, maybe other people might want to take part in the actual event, maybe do it for their own charity, you know. So I was thinking we could, hello Anton, welcome back. Yeah, I'm going to be getting off soon, but yeah. But I was talking about the idea of doing like a bungee jump for charity and maybe getting different people involved in it, and maybe they could do it for their own charities, you know. So I'd want to do it for like an autistic charity, I think, and maybe I could try and get some people involved from like autistic charities and autistic groups to like kind of help to promote it, to get more interest in it and to get more backing, and they'll also hopefully help to promote what I'm about, because I'm here to try and advocate for mental health, for health in general, and help people to fulfill their passions in life and their purpose. So yeah. But yeah, anyway. But it's good to have you all here, and I appreciate you all, you know, being here. And I see there's some people who are here almost every day now. It's become a bit of a community in here. So onwards and upwards, eh? The sky's the limit. It's been feeling a lot more positive lately. I feel like I've got a direction now. It's like I was feeling a bit scattered, like all over the place, and I think that you really have to focus on what is your direction you want to go in, because yeah, we can have focus, but we have to find the right direction to put our focus into. I think it's the important thing, because if you feel like you're trying to focus on the wrong thing, it's just not going to feel right. It's going to feel like it's just not going to feel authentic, and whatever you do, it has to feel authentic. It has to feel like it's from passion, because if you don't have any passion for what you do, then you're just going to be miserable. It's just going to feel like there's something wrong, like deep inside your gut. It's just going to feel like, what am I doing? This is not what I'm about. Like how you've got all these people that work in these dead-end jobs that they hate just to try and, you know, make ends meet. I understand that people have to, you know, they have to work these jobs sometimes, but it should be a means to an end. You shouldn't be doing it forever. Just stack away some cash and just, you know, for a short period of time, and then set yourself up for the future. Of course, yeah, things have gotten more difficult. You just have to work at it a bit longer, that's all. Just grind a little bit longer. But life's long. We've got a long time. It's not a race. So stop focusing on what other people are doing. Like I said in the last video, it ain't a race. Just focus on your own lane, because that's going to stop you from, yeah, getting low self-esteem and confidence. So yeah, who's still here? Wasn't going to stay on this long, but I've had a good one tonight. So, you know, if it goes well, I'll just keep it going for a while. You know, that's what I do. So yeah, for some reason my last video hasn't really been popping off, but oh well. I'll yeah, hopefully it'll go up soon, and hopefully my content will start getting pushed out more. So, but yeah, check out my latest video when you get a chance. Check out my videos, and maybe put the lives on if you missed any of the live, just run it back. Maybe even just even if you don't listen to the live, you could just let the watch time roll, because we're still a bit of a way off getting monetized. I watch it after the live stream. I mean, I mean, you don't have to. It's just you can have it on in the background. Then get a bit kind of like into some kind of you probably will like it, because we did talk a bit about like some issues around this country and just the world in general. So yeah, all right. Take care, everybody. I'll see you all soon. All right, peace out.